Welcome back to Riverbend Springs on Farming Simulator 25. It's episode 3 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to begin by apologising for the earlier clips. If I put them on, it depends if I put them on or not. If you watched my stream yesterday, you will have found that, or noticed, or not even noticed, we talked about it extensively. The HDR situation. I didn't have my HDR on, was streaming, and it was really dark. Now, that hadn't happened before. All of my videos up to that point I'd done as the game came, as I set it up, as I played it, as I always had done on FS22. But it was really dark, so people were suggesting putting HDR on, so I put HDR on and it washed everything out. We tried adjusting settings for HDR, we tried all sorts of stuff. Thank you to everyone who reached out, all the people that commented in messages and video clips and stuff of different things to say how best to set it up and stuff like that. I'm hoping this looks better. It's not dark, it's not overly washed out. I think we found the sweet spot. There was a little bit of tweaking here and there. When you set up your PlayStation 5, what it tells you to do when you have those little suns and you have to lighten them or darken them so they're just visible. It was a brilliant video that was sent to me. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. It was Niall. It was Niall that sent me it. It was a video clip of a guy showing it on his channel. The settings, you have to go a little bit beyond what it says or back a little bit from what it says depending on what you visually like better. But also what it turned out was my TV has a HDR setting. PlayStation had HDR on. I tweaked that and it still seemed washed out to me. A lot of people said to me, go into your TV settings, adjust the contrast, that'll make a big difference. I went in and it had HDR dynamic and HDR standard. It was on dynamic, and I think what was happening was it was dynamically trying to adjust the TV whilst the PS5 had HDR on as well, and the two were clashing. So I set it to HDR standard and it seems to be better. Anyway, that all being said, I just thought I'd mention that at the start, just to thank you to everybody. I got it ploughed. It took a while, and then I've started going over and cultivating. I tell you what I'm finding, and I know people are still... I did my video yesterday, and I have to say, I'm disappointed. When I did my live stream yesterday, and I said at the start of the live stream, and we talked about it a lot, if you haven't watched the live stream, it's up to you if you want to watch it or not, about the problems and stuff. I started off that stream by saying, and all the way through the stream kept saying, this is not about bashing giants. This is not about having a go at giants. This is not about anger. It's about sharing ideas, talking about problems that people seem to be having. You might be having a problem that's the same as everyone else's. There might be a solution already. You might be having a problem that no one else has encountered, and it gives people opportunity to either report those back or do what they want to do. Once the stream finished, the comments that are being left on the video that it now has become, some of them are just vile. I suppose it's no different to normal, but anyway, it is what it is. But what I was finding, I was just going to say, what I think is absolutely brilliant is, as it would be to a degree in real life, when I was doing when I'm doing the cultivating, as I'm doing at the moment, if I'm following the ploughing this way, my furrows this direction, this will cultivate at 10-11 miles an hour. If I go in that direction and I'm going across the ridges, whilst there's no haptic feedback, you've got the bumping over the ridges, it slows down to 6 miles an hour. It can't maintain the speed over the bumps and ridges going in that direction, which I think is brilliant. When I was ploughing, I mean, it just has a much more realistic feel. Anyway, all that being said, I can't go and plant what I want to plant. If we go to our calendar, I could do canola now, But I can do canola tomorrow. Wheat and barley we can do tomorrow. I can't do anything else. If we come back down all the way to the bottom here, I could put grass or oilseed radish in. But what I'm going to do is we've got 3 fields. I'm going to do 1 canola, 1 wheat, 1 barley. So September, we can do our seeding, which I'm going to do tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. It'd be August 2, then into September. Or I might go into September 1st and August, it doesn't matter. Whatever. When we get to September, we can do it. We'll get our seeding done. So what I was trying to do is prepare a seed bed. The other thing I'm finding, my fuel consumption, I've turned my fuel consumption down because I had to go and refill. Did I show that clip as well? I might have done. I had to go and refill this. And in doing the ploughing and in doing this, again, fairly realistically, we're getting through the fuel. It's you know, it's not the easiest thing to do. So I thought if I prepare the seed bed with the cultivator, it might make life a little bit easier when we come to do the seeding. That being said, it's that age-old dilemma that every farmer has. How far do you go with your seed prep? I'm trying to save the seeder any hassle and aggro and potentially save fuel while seeding, yet adding a second state on the field, which means I'm using fuel anyway for the cultivating. It's interesting, isn't it, how you try and work those things out, which really before I hadn't really bothered with. I just kind of cracked on and got with it. That being said, I've got some contracts which are time sensitive, so I'm going to whiz over. I've got a rock removal that I took on, we've got a mowing one, and we've got a wood transport. I'm going to do the mowing one first, get that out of the way. We need to raise a little bit more funds because what I'm going to do tomorrow as well into August 2, or unless we go into September straight away, on this little plot here, we're going to put in the first of our new buildings. Yeah, new building. So I want to get that done. So I will see you over there in just a minute. Or potentially out by the field. Haven't decided yet. But I'm going to go and grab the pickup. I'm going to whiz over. I'm going to come back to doing that later on. I just suddenly thought, because I'm losing light, it's 5:05 already, and I need to get these contracts done before it gets too dark, and I can carry on with this tomorrow. I can get the rest of this done tomorrow, no problem at all, but the contracts are time sensitive. So I'll see you over there in a minute. Old MacDonald had a farm. Yeah. Sorry. This was, I forgot, when I took on the contracts in the last episode, we got the MacDon for doing mowing, which is pretty cool. I think we're on... I thought I'd drive out because it was a bit of a drive. I went, rather than use the ferry, I took a longer route round. And I love the fact you can drive it to the field this direction. It has a very weird look about it. I mean, it does have a kind of tractor look about it until you kind of zoom out. And your brain's like, whoa, hang on a minute, it's the wrong way around. But I love that. I think it's very cool. So this is nice and straightforward. We'll do that. Let's change our seat position round. Whoosh. Turn it on, drop it down. We are MacDonning. My first time using it. Because it was that funny, I say funny thing, because of the early access, I had a hard copy of the game, and up until sort of the day before, I wasn't supposed to be using it, and I wasn't supposed to be getting early access on console. And I tried the disc and it worked, but the thing is, because the disc was a standard disc, and it did work, I didn't get the MacDon pack, the pre-order bonus, which I'd done for my digital copy. So until the game actually released, I didn't have any of the MacDon stuff. And to be fair, I haven't really fiddled around with it too much. This is kind of my first foray. And I know everyone, not everyone, no. I mean, yes, I suppose people are generally using it for swathing at the moment. Maybe that's a sweeping statement. This is what it's used for as well. And it's doing an admirable job. Nice and straightforward, like the mowing contracts I did last time. All I've got to do is mow. Nothing else. I guess there's a kind of... There's no stress to that, is there? You know, any of the mowing contracts now. I suppose even with the baling contracts, because the old baling contracts had you mowing, tedding, windrowing, baling, bale wrapping, whatever it might be. It was a lot of processes to that. And I guess as well, whereas I didn't mind doing it, and I like the fact you could get bales left over, and I've mentioned that a few times. I guess there's that element of if people don't have a lot of time to play, and I've mentioned that many times before, if you get in from work and you might have an hour, if you take on a baling contract that takes a long time, you don't feel like you've got anywhere. Whereas I guess coming on now, you can jump on, take on a quick mowing contract, take on a quick baling contract, a bale wrapping contract, a tedding contract, whatever it might be. But I don't know. I still personally think they should have kept both. Have mowing contracts, have baling contracts, bale wrapping contracts, tedding contracts, but also have the full shebang where you do all of it. So you've got the option to do all if you want to, including the delivery of the bales, because that's obviously no longer a thing. That's just me personally. I think tomorrow we might do a little bit more. I don't know. We've got some more farm work tomorrow. At some point, I'm going to go and have a chat with Ben. So I've got to talk to people around the local community. We had a chat to people at the gas station on the way in. We had a chat to people in the cafe, which is, that was cool. We had a bit of a chat to the people in the vehicle store, machinery shop. Obviously, we've spoken to Walter. We do need to speak to Noah at some point, and there's all these various different people we need to have a chat to and try and get the lay of the land, try and figure out what's going on. And for anybody that watched the first couple of episodes, the first episode, and were worried, concerned, or annoyed that I was doing another narrative, if you've watched any of my Let's Plays, you know I kind of bounce in and out of the narrative because it's lovely to have a storyline to kind of follow along with, but I can't help talking about other things. I can't help talking about, I don't stay on script. People like Dagwin and Scroft and stuff that will do a full-blown storyline with voices and all the rest of the stuff, and they will stay in character the whole time. I can't, because there's information I want to pass on, and that's the teacher in me. There's stuff I want to talk about, things are, so it ends up a mix between, we're just farming, we're just getting on with the stuff in the game, and then every now and again we'll kind of roll back around to the storyline. That's at least the plan. So anyway, yeah, we are old MacDonalding. I don't know why that popped into my head. It was very strange. You know what I'm like. So we'll get this done. We'll get the payment for this. I think we need 18,000, I think, so we might be all right. I don't think we're going to need more seed, but we might need another bag of seed, but we can grab one of those. That's not a problem. It seems to me the logging contracts, I thought they might be all over the place, but when we did that collecting the logs the other day, I think the one we've got this time is the same location, so I assume that's just where they're doing the logging. I've been asked, will I do a video about forestry? Not a Let's Play episode, but a video on forestry. Like I said the other day, a lot of people have already done a lot of guide tours and stuff around. I mean, I can do. People keep saying we want to see it from the console perspective. Yeah, I mean, I can do, yeah. I think to some degree it's better, some degrees it's worse, but I guess we could have a look. If that's what people want to see. %, and going. It's not the fastest machine out there, but it doesn't need to be. And I'll see you over there for what we're going to pick up next. I might do the rock removal next. I think as far as the contracts go, time limit wise, this and the rock removal contract have got the shorter time limits. I'm pretty sure the log collection one gives me something like 40 odd hours, so we've got at least another day. We haven't got to worry too much about that. I mean, we can check those now. Let's go into here and go to our active contracts. So mowing 6 hours left. Oh, they're both 48, 49. I thought the rock removal was less than that. So we have got 2 days to do those two, which is all right. If we go back up to here, when we've done this one, there is a bale wrapping one. I did want to, actually, you know what, I'm going to take that one on. That was the one that I had, yeah, we had been warned about, where the contract wasn't completable, but we can check it. That's the whole point, isn't it? So I might grab that, and I might then tomorrow do the rock removal and do. I've got to be careful here, because I had another report in saying whatever you do, don't take on contracts and skip ahead to the next day because it will ruin your Let's Play. I'm not sure what that means. That's weird. What's my cruise control set at? Right, let's go cruise control. So my cruise control's going at 7 miles an hour. How was my cruise control was set down? I'm saying it's only going 6 miles an hour. Why was my cruise control so low? I suddenly accelerated then, not on cruise control, and thought, oh, that's sped up. My cruise control was right down. How bizarre. Did it come like that? Oh, well, I could have got this done way quicker. Right, I'll see you over in a bit. So we could have been done by now. Going at 15. So anyone that's already commented saying that should be going a lot faster than that. We are now. Mowing's done. We go into our contracts now. We can complete on that. Nice. Thank you very much. We'll go back across and I'm going to take on that bale wrapping one on 45. We're going to borrow items on that because we need to see. So I'll do that one next because I know I've got extra time. Obviously this is going to be another test because we can go and wrap that. Oh, this is what I was talking about. So that's for my rock breaking. That's I've got 49 hours. Was it 48, 49? This is 48. Now on the original image, I only showed this. Only showed the lorry. And the lorry's got the bed on the back and a crane. Well, that's cool. We'll get the stuff on that. We'll deliver it. And no problem at all. But when I took the contract, it gave me this as well. So we've got the fans out with a crane and a log trailer. So we've got... I don't know why it gave us both. It's very peculiar. But anyway, we have got both. And this is for the bale wrapping one now. So what we'll do, we'll head over, try field 45. If field 45 works and all the bales are there and it completes the contract... I mean, I'm going to keep doing contracts, of course I am. I mean, that's how I'm going to start building up money until the farm becomes self-sustaining at some point. It'd be nice when we get to a point we can buy tractors back or buy our first tractor. But like I said, Walter's been selling off stuff and having to sell stuff off because there's been no one to help him with the farm. I did say in the first episode as well that his son moved away and I was going to kind of masquerade as his son, and when he does his spiel I think he gets confused. He thinks I'm his grandson, or like I said, he's gone really deep into the cover of it. I'm too old to be his grandson. So anyway, all that being said, have I ever mentioned before I do like a drop nose Massey? Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'll take this out, I'll see you up there in a little while, and we'll get this field wrapped, and hopefully there's enough bales on the field to be wrapped and that we can get them wrapped and we get paid. That's it really. Let's get the beacons on. We'll head down, we're going to cross the ferry and then up to field 45, which is just to the left. I always like it when you've been in an area where you start working in a farm area and you get used to the layout of the lay of the land. It's something I've said this many times before. I'm obsessed with maps and mapping and map reading and that kind of stuff. And I like it when you get to a point where you start remembering where things are and you know the routes to get to places and that kind of thing. Looks sound to me. So that's weird. Because I was going to say, when I first came on here, I think it was pre first update. I think I had the sort of the original version, and this field, I think when I came to bale wrap it on a test, it had like four bales on it, and I did all four, and there was one in a field over there and it wouldn't complete the contract. But it looks like we've got enough bales, we should be fine. I was concerned, but we've done 7% on one bale, and looking at the amount of bales on the field, I think we're going to be alright. So as I was saying, anyway, I'm going to carry on doing contracts, of course I am, because that's kind of part and parcel of what I do, and that's going to give us plenty of opportunity to test the local contract situation and system, from what I've seen and what I've done so far, there doesn't seem to be anything bad going on, and that's good. That's, you know, it's a good thing for the local community. I don't, like I said in the earlier episodes, I don't come out doing my investigations hoping I catch people. You know, if there are people up to no good, then they need to be sorted out, and, you know, justice needs to be served. But if there's not, it could have been a spurious accusation. It could be, I don't know, it could be all sorts of reasons why. If I don't find anything, that's brilliant. Or they're just very, very good at hiding it all. I don't know. Right, no reason why I shouldn't complete this one. I'll probably see you now tomorrow. We can get the canola in tomorrow, unless it jumps straight to September. Again, that's something we can't really take for granted. I'm not going to put automatic drop on because of the hills. I don't want it to automatic drop and roll off somewhere. But that's supposed to be fair. Doesn't matter. I haven't got to collect them, have I? Yeah. Again, I'm assuming it's doing what you was used to do. If you change your days of the month setting from August, it would jump straight to September, then it would go from there. But it might not. It might go August 2, and then I don't know how it's going to work, so we'll see. I can't remember. I've done so much testing, and the testing, it's funny how a lot of the stuff I've been testing, I've been focused on whatever it is I'm testing, and there are so many other elements that I stop now and think, oh, why didn't I pay attention to that? Why didn't I look at that? Why didn't, you know, it's weird. But anyway. Unless I've still got daylight, in which case you might see me. I might go and do the rock removal or something. Again, I haven't really decided, but I thought it would get dark a lot sooner. While we've still got daylight, I suppose I can get some more done. Yeah, 43% complete. I think we're going to be alright. As you have just seen, I did take on a couple of other contracts. We've still got the rock removal, we've still got the wood transport, but I did an extra on top of that baling contract on field 45. I did a baling contract on field 77, big field. I had several game crashes, and it was interesting. I think it was hailing. It was either hailing or really heavy rain, and I was going along no problem at all. I tried to switch camera from outside of the vehicle in cab, and it did not like that at all. I think it was just all the rain, the bales, everything. It just didn't like it. Couldn't cope with it. Anyway, all that being said, so we're up to 44,857. So we've got plenty of money to do what I want to do. We're going to have a building put in. Tell you what, Walter gets up early and goes to bed late. Well, it does spend a lot of time just standing there, which is interesting. I noticed something. I don't know how I missed it. If anyone's commented to say about this, I do apologise. We are good to seed. If we come into our options and we go up here, we are in our September seeding window. So canola, barley, wheat, we can put each one of those in. All of my, you'll see, I finished all the cultivating. Not that I needed to, but I've done it just to make it easier for the seed bed. If we look at the field now, farmland owned by you, fertilised 100%. Nothing's in the ground yet, but it's not saying needs ploughing, needs lime, nothing at all. Once we put the crop in, again, I've had some really weird things. Sometimes I'm putting crops in and it's saying it needs rolling. Sometimes I'm putting them in and it says it's not. Anyway, but what I noticed as I was walking back over here, that football in the tree. Has that football always been in that tree? I'm assuming that's a collectible, so I don't know. We'll go and grab it. So what I'm going to do is grab the telehandler. We are sticking some hours on this, but like I said, until we get... Oh, that's a good point, actually. I wonder, how are we looking on... Something else I'm a little bit worried about. When I said about, I was told about contracts. Those are my active ones. Don't have any active, and then skip into the next day. You know all those contracts we had yesterday? They've all gone. Well, not all of them, but you know, it's a bit. I'm hoping some more part. It could just be a time of year. Don't know, but fingers crossed they come back, because that's going to be a bit of a worry if they don't. So what we're going to do now is we're going to grab the seeder. Now I just about got the seeder in between those two posts. I probably shouldn't have done. So what we're going to do is try and get that out. I'll put it somewhere else next time because it really shouldn't have gone there. Come on. So we'll do wheat, barley, canola. It doesn't really matter which order we do it in. But what I'm going to do is come over here. Some I have also noticed. What I always used to do when I was doing thumbnails and stuff, and I would use various different vehicles to gain elevation, to get thumbnails and stuff. It doesn't like to climb things anymore. We'll try that. Don't know if it's going to work. Let's up in there. Yes, it's not. Well, there we go. Yeah. Come on. It's very... used to be a lot smoother. Don't know if that's the third person thing, but... can we collect that? Do we pick it up? Oh, okay. Oh, that's just brilliant. How is that now? Can I get a hand to it? That's coming the other side, aren't I? Is it something to collect? Or is it just one of those weird... That's very strange. It's not showing me anything. Don't know. Leave it there for the time being. Thought it might be something to collect. Anyway. Which means I'm going to need to lease a roller. I'm not saying I'm not going to do another one, but I said about this little plot of land, about building something on it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put a greenhouse on. But again, I haven't done it before. I mean, testing and stuff, but as far as Let's Play goes, I want to do mushrooms, because I've always been a fun guy. Come on. We have to have dad jokes, that's how it works. So, and there she blows. 18,000, I went for the medium. We are going to need to put some water in here. We don't have a water tank or anything like that, but we're going to put some water in the back. We'll do some mushrooms, why not? Thought might as well give it a go. Which does actually mean there's no vehicles. I don't know really. We don't go massive, do we? There's not a huge selection. Have I gone past my animals? Oh, there we go. Category barrels. Oh, that's a lot. 17 grand. 25. I mean, that's only 5, but it's only 2,080 litres. I could do a few trips backwards and forwards, couldn't I? For 5.8. I've got small contracts to do. But if I've got small contracts to do, do I go for a bigger? But it's a big jump up in money, isn't it? I'm going to go for the small one. Do I want to change the rim colour? Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. Okay, let's buy that. At least we can get something else going, a bit more, not passive income, because we're going to be growing something. I'm going to have had this one, and when we've raised a bit more money, I think I'm going to put a medium standard greenhouse in. I might go polytunnel rather than glass. I have a couple of greenhouses here. I do want to get some chickens, so we can get a few of those sort of things on the go. We've got some honey going. But yeah, a few bits and bobs like that. So what we're going to do now, let's get this in. Let's drill our wheat. I'm hoping when we roll, all those stones will go back in again. Oh, we will need to lease a roller and get these done. I wanted to get this done, definitely. I wanted to get the mushroom greenhouse. The contract work, that's stuff that's going to be chugging along. I think next episode we're going to go and talk to Ben. I said about talking to Ben. And then we'll gradually work our way through the various different people. That's what we are going to do as well, because I haven't really done it yet. I wouldn't say we're at a point yet we could hire... I mean, I suppose we could hire workers if we wanted to. Let me just... anything worth having in here? That's cool. The fact we can swim now in the water, because you've got third person as well, that's absolutely fantastic. We need boats. We definitely need boats. I know we've got the ferry, but you know what I mean? Oh, I'm a bit tight. I haven't quite mastered the alternate rows. I always find that's very inefficient, because unless you can get it absolutely dialed, you kind of... I find personally as well, I miss bits, or I either go too narrow or too wide, and then you're doing more passes than you need to, and that might work. But like I say, we won't need to put any more fertiliser down. We did the liming, did the ploughing. It's going to be interesting to see what it says for yield bonus, because there was no mulching. There was no option at the start for mulch, but once it's rolled, that's all we can do for it. We can't do any more. We've just got to hope we don't have any bad weather, we don't have any hail damage or anything like that. Actually, what is it saying? Yield bonus 97%. Get in! Once we've rolled, that should take us to 100% yield bonus. Which means we've done everything we need to. Ho ho ho, nice! Very nice indeed! I know whether people are anti whatever, people can be anti whatever they want to. I still think the ground deformation. I know people wanted about a dig, they wanted it to be full snow runner and all that kind of stuff, and it would be awesome to be able to use excavators and that kind of thing. You know, going down that construction route. I know building properties. It's a great idea in game. I get it, and when I did the video on it, it's very cool. But it's a very expensive way to go about it, I guess. I don't know, but to be able to dig your own foundations with that would be quite cool. But then again, that's not necessarily farming, is it? That is construction, definitely construction. I mean, I've had a few people message me saying the Merlot's 170 horsepower. I'm sure it's only 140, because I said the other day it was 140. I'm sure. Yeah, see, I think I've gone too wide there, which means I'm going to have to do 2 passes to cover that. I guess the thing we can do now, let's just go around and do a alternate strip and see if I've got it right. I don't normally do it this way. I don't know what made me do it this way. Actually, that's not bad, is it? That other one might be a little bit wide, but... We're doing a thing. If you don't watch my mod reviews, the mod review that came out today from yesterday's mods, there is Bale and pallet storage and Bale storage in those mods that came out yesterday, and because I know the base game Bale and pallet storage is nerfed at the moment, it's not working properly, so if you are looking for Bale and pallet storage or Bale storage, there are a couple in those. Just information sharing, it's what I do. We've still got a little bit of shake, which is nice, but it would have been so much worse going over a ploughed field. And again, I said this before, it's weird how your perception shifts. On 22, I thought nothing, it made no difference. I'll just go, I'll drill straight into a ploughed field. If it was a direct drill, didn't even have to plough it. But if it said required ploughing, I would think of nothing of going straight into a ploughed field. But what's really cool now is with the ground deformation and all that kind of stuff, and I'm finding there is really a difference. That I'm more inclined to prepare a seedbed. I know, it's bizarre, isn't it? What's happened to me? So what I've got to do now is come outside. Yeah, we're a little bit over, but if we move over that way, we might be alright actually. No, we are. We did all right. Oh, yes. We're farming. We haven't used a horrendous amount of seed. That's good. So I say wheat, barley, canola. So I could be doing as well, actually. Let's go into here. Ah, it does it at an angle. So that's going to go in. I could try it in the next field. I'm just thinking that's not going to go the direction I'm already going in, is it? I've gone straight up and down rather than at an angle. It's followed the right-hand edge rather than the left-hand edge. It has done for the headlands, but obviously the others has gone the other way. So what we'll do is we'll do steering assist on the next field. I keep forgetting. There's so many things, you know, and you do fall back into that the habit of doing what you've always done. It's a case of retraining the brain to do the things that are new, you know, to try them out. So I'm going to need to go and get water. I can't remember if we've got a water point here at the farm. I don't know if we have. I'm trying to think. There are water towers, but I think they'll charge us for those. I'm wondering if we can just go down to the water's edge, maybe. We can try. I want to get that greenhouse up and running before we finish. So yeah, but the plan is this. I'm going to do the rock breaking, and I'm going to try with that grapple trailer, and we'll talk to Ben in the next episode. Because once these fields are done, these are the only fields we own. So once these are up and ready, oh, the roller. I didn't hire a worker. That's weird. What rollers have we got available? I think there's a monster one. But remember, we don't have the horsepower for that. Rollers. Good grief! Is there nothing in between? 12.3 meters needs 120 horsepower, 275 horsepower. Actually, what we're going to do first, let's just double check on soil composition. Now, why is that saying needs lime? I limed it all. What's happened? Oh, that's better. So that's not right. It's just those little bits. Whew, blimey. Oh yes, the bits I've done now, let's say, needs rolling. So we are going to need a roller. So let's go back in to there. How much is that to lease? Oof. Well, I'll do a contract. We'll pick up a contract to cover the cost of that. Let's lease it. Actually, while we're here, let's go to... I'm sure it is. Merlot. Oh, it's 170. Oh, I thought it was 140. I do apologise to anybody that yeah, 170. Why did I think it was 140 horsepower? That's a bit of a beast, isn't it, really? Or did I check that before? I don't know. I'm losing my mind. You know, everyone knows that. So I'm going to see you maybe on the next field, maybe the canola field. We'll do a bit of the old GPSing. They're straighter fields anyway. Should be nice and straightforward. At least that way I can get nice straight lines, can't I? Haha. And I'll know if I skip a line, it should find the next line automatically and give me the right widths. Got to get used to using it. That's the thing. I've come down to the water's edge. I've backed in to a low point. I was looking for a boat ramp, and we can fill up from the river, which is great. It's a bit of backwards and forwards though. That's the only downside. Having something at the farm would make life a little bit easier, but I'm not being charged for it. What I can do as well, there are the various different water towers. Hang on, so a little line on the screen. Let's come up out of here. I'm still fiddling around with various different settings. I'm trying to get it just right. It's the thing is, it's difficult as well because you think you've got the settings just right. If I go from this to Hutan Pantai and back again, Hutan Pantai for some reason the light fluctuates, whereas on here it seems to be fairly set at the moment. But then also you get early in the morning, you've got a bit of mist. That little bit of mist adds an element of light to it. And I'm thinking it looks too light, it looks too washed out. And then the sun comes up and that goes, and it's just trying to find the perfect balance. I don't know, we'll get there at some point. I'm going to put this in just to start off with. I'll go and do a few more runs, but it's not too far actually, just down that little bit there to the water's edge. So we might have somewhere at the farm, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I mean, that doesn't seem too bad to me. I don't know. I think it's this side, isn't it? There we go. Now, oyster mushrooms are worth more to sell. There are 1 to 3, there are 1 to 5. I might just set them both off. Why not? What we get is what we get. Oh, yeah, we're almost half full with water just with that. One more run down and we'll be full on our medium greenhouse. So at least they're running now. We should get some mushrooms at some point. Lovely. Let's close the door. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take over the telehandler and I'm going to go and grab the roller. All 3 fields are done, as you saw, a little bit of clips here and there. Wheat, barley, canola. We've still got some seed left in our seeder. I'll put the seeder over here actually. We could probably do the jet wash, get one of those mobile ones. That was something I've noticed as well. I don't know if we've got more stuff coming, like I say. We're supposed to be having more stuff coming, but there's not. What was that trailer? The one that lifted, so it became like a transport trailer. It was only a small one, wasn't it? Was it Bramer? Was it the Bramer one? Anyway, that's not there, is it? Not that I could find anyway. So I'm always over. Let's grab the roller. I'll see you back here in a minute. I'll get me rolling done. And everything I've set out to do in this episode will be complete. Oh, look at that. There we go, front wheel steer. Just make us a bit safer on the road. Whoa! I suddenly thought, why am I looking directly behind me? Oh, those posts. The Pillar of Doom. See what I mean? There's like a low-lying mist across the fields as well. Can't do a lot about it. Shouldn't take too long. I'm going to go right across the whole lot. Makes more sense, doesn't it? That's what we should have now. If I've done it right. There we go. Yield bonus plus 100%. Get in. We've done it all right. It's all just dependent on the weather now. Not a lot I can do about that really, is there? But, you know. I'm sure it'll all be fine. We've only got to get from now right the way through to, was it March? Actually, when is our harvest window? We are back round again to July. Okay, well our barley will be June, and then canola July. So we just got to hope between now and then we have no twisters and we have no hail, and then we'll be fine. No problems at all. Yeah, let's go right across the whole lot. Done a good job. Like I said, next episode we're going to go and chat to Ben, see if he's got any insights to offer us, see if we can gather any intel, any information from him. I'm going to do the rock removal, I'm going to do the wood transport, see if any more contracts come up. Like I say, we've been a little bit few and far between since yesterday, which is a bit concerning, but if most of the fields are kind of ready to go, it is going to be stuff really, rock removal, wood transport, those sorts of jobs that are going to keep us going through the winter, unless we buy our own bit of forestry. I mean, we've got a little bit of money, we'll get about another 10 grand just under, because we borrowed equipment for the wood transport, providing I don't damage anything. And there we go. All the stones are going back in now. I've been pushed back into the ground, so that wasn't too bad. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.